Okay, students, there is an issue with the internet in college. Suddenly it's happened. If my internet get disconnected, please be wait. I'll be get back soon. So try to cooperate. Now internet stable connection is stable, but I don't know if the connection lost, the meeting will be disconnected. So in such case, you please wait and I'll revert back. So then, what is our last discussion in our last class? We discussed about operations on linked list, that is traversing a linked list and searching a linked list. Good. Okay. Now in this class, I will show you reversing a linked list. Reversing a linked list. Reversing. I think you might perform some operations on strings. That means string concatenation, adding some arithmetic operations on some integer values, and maybe uh, string length, and like string reverse also. So here also we are performing the same operation on linked list. In arrays also we can perform a reversing option. So first let's see the array option and then we'll see the linked list. See here, for example, these are having some elements, for example, 33, 34, 55, and 23. Some of the elements are in an array. So these all are my index 1, index 2, this is index 3. So total how many elements are there in my array? Total how many elements are there in my array?
Four.
Yes, 4. Okay. So now I'm going to reverse these list of elements. So actually what is the correct order? The elements are 33, 34, 55, 23. That is the order. Now I'm going to reverse these operations. That means for 23, 55, 34, and 33. So I want to display of the elements in reverse order. For example, in an Excel workbook, Excel sheet, in MS Office, you can find the option alphabetical order like sorting. So if you want to display names from roll number 1 to 2, 1 to 100, for example, whatever it is, if you want to sort the given data in an order format based on some conditions, we can use that A to Z and Z to A. That is the last to first and first to last. Here also we can play the operation like this. So how can we reverse an element or the elements in the array? I'll show you the logic and I'll show you the procedure. So generally the logic for reversing the elements in an array is nothing but simply using the swapping procedure. Swapping procedure. Already you know about swapping. So swapping means what? Just simply exchanging the values based on mutual understanding. For example, simply you're exchanging your lunchbox or your gift something. For example, pen or pencil. Both will exchange the gifts or lunchbox, for example. So lunchbox, how we are transferring your lunchboxes with the help of hands. So here hands are the temporary variables. If you want to swap, you need three elements at least. First of all, sender, receiver, and the middle one is the passing. So you will pass some information with the help of something. So that something is here temp. Already I have shown you the code for that also. So now see the procedure how it will. Okay, we will take simply we will exchange the values, the location first with the last. So both values will be swapped. That means 0th location value and the third location value will get swapped. So we'll write a code for first index to last index. After that, what? Second index to third index. Simply, what will happen? See here, in the last position, first value is there. This is the first value now, but is it in the last position? See here, this is the last position value becomes first value. Here also, same thing happened. The position one value is swapped to position two, and position two come in place of position one. If you take any number of elements, the procedure like this only. For example, let me draw some elements like this. For example, if you take an element like this, so just I'm taking elements. See here, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Randomly, I'm taking all these values. You can take any values, not a problem. 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 to 9. That means how many elements? 9 elements I'm taking. So I am going to reverse this operation, reverse these elements. So simply what I'll do, I'll use the swap function. With the help of swap function, simply I will swap first location with last location, and then second position with last but one position. And after that, this process will continue like this. So by practically also you can swap these elements. Okay. So likewise here we will swap the elements in this list. So the remaining element will be transferred. Next one, it is the last position. The only the single value. So the logic for swapping the elements is like this. Now, how it is applicable for linked list? So if you take linked list, that one also will proceed the same formula. For example, I'm trying some notes here. Okay. So simply the same rule will be applicable here also, but we will take here one temporary variable. Temporary variable. With the help of this temporary variable, we will declare here some P and Q, two pointer variables. With the help of two pointer variables, we will just a minute, students. So with the help of these variables P and Q, yes, 564, is there anything? Okay. So with the help of these two pointer variables, we will point from starting node to ending node. We will provide the links and we will assign these pointer variables, that nodes to first node and last node. Will follow the same logic what we have applied for the reverse operation on arrays. Same procedure will be applicable here also. So I'm trying to write the logic here. So all of you try to understand the logic for uh, reversing the linked list. So actually in yesterday's class, I have shown you a linked list for searching and all this. So in this class, I am going to discuss with you the reverse operation. So the reverse operation will perform like that. Just making instruments. Okay. Show you the code for the linked list. For example, just I'm writing the pseudo code star reverse. Just to follow this. Now we are declaring two pointer variables for swapping purpose. That is star p and star q. These two are the pointer variables. Just before we declared like temp variable. So in this, we are writing the condition if that equals to null, return otherwise p equals to head. Q equals to p2 next. Q equals to null, return. Now Q equals to reverse of Q. P2 next. Next to next equal to P. At the same time, one of you write down this P2 next equals to null.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Just a second, students. Okay, is my voice is okay now? Is my voice okay now?
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Okay. So see here, I'm drawing a linked list like this here, ABCD. So here two logics we can implement. Arrays concept also we can implement. Different people like the write the logic different ways. So here I'm using the second method, and the implementation part I'll tell you the first method also, not a problem. Here this is the another way for reversing the list. Reversing means what? So the D will become the last node. That means the previous code I'll show you. Just I am passing a parameter from the head node. Why? Because it will start from the head node onwards. Head node means the starting node. Head node always points to the starting node. That means it will always point to the first node. Okay, whatever it is, the linked list consists of head node. Head node is the starting node. So now we are making the head node as the last node and last node as the head node, right? For this, we are taking two pointer variables p and q. Now, condition. So if head equals to null, head equals to null means what? If head is null, that means we want to make the head is null. Null, where null is there? It is in the last position. That is why head is null, then it will return. What it will return? P equals to head. P means what? Starting. That starting node becomes last and the last node becomes first. So Q means what? Q means P to the next. P to the next. That is P to the next. So now you see the code. This is the condition for reversing the list. If Q is null, if Q is null, then return a value. So you enter the list reverse. Reverse means automatically, just like A to Z means if you follow the order A to Z, after the reverse function, it will display the values Z to A, nothing but. After reversing function, after calling the reverse of Q, automatically all the Q values, generally P values are ABCD. But in the Q values, automatically it will reverse like that. That means will come as D, C, D, A, and here it is the null. Now A becomes the last node and D becomes the head node, and after that here it is a null value. It is null. It points to null. So P becomes P next to P until P becomes null. So what is the null here? P is the null. P is the null means what here? What is the null value? It is null value. It is the P null. So P will start here and Q will start here. So P is the null until P null. So P is null here. Return Q. Q means what? Reverse of the list. This is what reversing a linked list. Now we'll move on to the next concept, that is the implementation part of the linked list. So try to understand the program. In this class, I'll tell you a few code. So first of all, I want to write a program for single linked list implementation. This is very important. So maybe in the next class also it will take time for this. So in this class it will not complete. So try to concentrate this program. So I'll break this program into 2 or 3 parts so that you can understand easily. Line to line I'm going to explain. First of all, see the header file stdio.h standard input output, that is okay. Now second header file, see stdlib. What is the meaning of stdlib.h? Can anyone? Stdlib. Stdlib. Standard library. Why we are using this header file in this program? Because we are using malloc functions. Malloc functions. What is the use of malloc functions? So malloc functions will use for providing the memory for the nodes. The creation of nodes, we are using memory. So how we can allocate memory with the help of malloc functions only. All these malloc functions are available in standard library of this header file, stdlib header file. That is why we are using stdlib. So just for the malloc function support, we are using the header files. To include all those header files, we are using the stdlib.h. Now, okay, that's fine. So see here, what is this? Tell me, what is this up to now? Already I have shown you this. Yes, yes. Okay, that's a dynamic memory allocation only. What is the syntax of all this? What it will resembles to the compiler? After writing this or after executing this line, what compiler will understand? Yes, good, node. That is a node. Okay. So node is what? Structure type. For example, if I declare a value 10, that is integer type. If I declare a 3.5, that is a float type. Here the node is called a structure type. That is why we are using the keyword structure. So in that node, we are using integer type of data. So integer type of data, that is the node, because we are designing the single linked list only. Single linked list. So after that data field, what is the next field? That is also structure type. That is pointing to the next node. You remember this point. Next node we are pointing. Next node we are pointing. But that node is also a struct type. That is why we are mentioning. We are mentioning that struct node star next. Some people may write link. Some people may write previous. Some people may write next. Whatever it is, the logic is same. But try to understand this. Don't be confused. So, in some people may write some names. Okay. So this is the original syntax. The structured data type always close with a semicolon. Okay. After creating this, a node will be created. So why, sir, why we are writing this structure as global declaration? Why we need to write starting of the program? We are having two types of declarations. One is global declaration and another one is local variables. Two variables, two types. Variable declaration, two types, that is local variable and global variable. So if you write before the main function, that is called global declaration or global variables. So within the main, that is called local variables. So what is the necessity why we are writing the struct node before the main functions? So here my main function is not starting here. So somewhere it is starting. So before main, why I'm writing this code here? Why I'm writing the node globally? I'm writing. Do you know what is global declaration? Global variable. GLOBAL, global variable declaration. You don't know? So global variable, if you declare a variable or if you declare something globally, that means what? You can use that code in entire program. In entire program or anywhere in the program, you can use that code or you can call that code without any restrictions. But if you declare as a global, within that scope only, after the execution, the local variables will be deleted automatically. So that is why we are creating the node structure globally. So that means before the main function, yes, before the main function only, we will declare the global variables. That is why we are declaring the structure node globally, so that we can use node as global. That means we will write lot of functions, we will perform lot of operations, so that we can use the node globally. That is why I am writing node global. Okay. After that, see, node is created. Now we will allocate the memory. Before that, struct node start equals to null. So that means, first of all, the starting node in the linked list is null. Then only we will initialize the memory with using malloc function. That is another thing. Okay. Okay. I hope the time is over. Next class I'll continue. Don't absent for next class. I'll explain this program. So this program is very, very important. Okay. You may leave.